Right. Okay. Good morning, everyone. What is the last concept? Uh-huh. Installation is done, right? Okay. Online students, is that the screen is visible? All the online students can respond in the chat window. All the online students can respond in the chat window. Okay. Right. Let's continue on that. Let's take care about how exactly we can write the program in Selenium automation. So till now, we have been not written any of the program with the respective of Selenium. Did we written any program with the respective of Selenium? No. Till now, we have not done any program in Selenium. Just we are coming up with all the activities or all the preparation to write in a program. To write Selenium program, what are all the things required? To write Selenium program, what are all the things has been required? That is what we are trying to get understand. As an example, first we got understood object identification. How many types? How many types? 8 types. That is what we got comfortable. So how we can identify particular object, that is what we are trying to get understand. We done with different techniques, different expert. We got prepared one particular Excel. So got comfortable with all the different type of options here. And then we started with core Java syntax. I mean, according to Java programming, what exactly the syntax need to be get followed, that is what we have been done. First we got object identification, and then we got core Java syntax. After that, we got understand the setup of the Selenium. So before getting started working with Selenium, what kind of steps need to be followed? What kind of the setup need to be done? That is what we discussed. Now, taking the help of all these particular things, we need to be get start writing with the program in Selenium. For that, according to our understanding, requirement need to be get work with Selenium. If you want to be get work with Selenium, what we require? To work with Selenium, what we require? If you want to be get work with Selenium, what we require? What is it? Jar files. If we want to be get work with Selenium. If you want to begin work with Selenium, we required jar files. Based on jar files, based on jar files, what we are accessing? Based on jar files, what we are accessing? What is it? Packages. Okay. Based on packages, what we are accessing? What we are accessing? Class. Okay. Based on the class, what we are accessing? What is it? Method. What is the use of the method? What is the use of the method? To perform an action. Online students also need to respond in the chat window. All the online students need to be more active, and you guys need to be get respond in the chat window. Right. Now we got jar files. Based on jar files, what we are accessing? Packages. Based on packages, what we are accessing? Class. Based on the class, what we are accessing? Method. What is the use of the method? What is the use of the method? To perform an action. The use of the method, the use of the method to perform an action. If we consider this particular method, we can say that to get perform an action. Now, this particular action is nothing but need to be get develop automation script. Now, on which basis we have to develop automation scripts? On which basis we have to develop? Based on manual test cases. Based on manual test cases. Based on manual test cases, we need to be get develop automation script. Now, our very first understanding, if we want to be get work with, if we want to be get work with this particular Selenium, what we required? What we required? Jar files has been required. Based on jar files, what we are accessing? Packages. Based on packages, class. Based on the class, method. What is the use of the method? To perform an action. Okay. Now, according to our understanding, before getting started, working with the Selenium, we need to be get complete this particular Selenium setup. Before working with the Selenium, we need to be get complete this particular Selenium setup activity. This particular Selenium setup activity, we need to be go with different step. What is the first step? What is the first step? Download and install jdk.exe. Download and install jdk.exe. Okay. At the same time, what is the next step need to be done? Download and copy Eclipse IDE. Download and copy Eclipse IDE. Okay. After that, what is the next step? Download Selenium jar files to local system and add it to project. Okay. So we need to be get download Selenium jar files to local system and add it to project. Okay. Next. Next. What is the next step? Download driver.exe file based on browser to local system. So need to be download driver.exe file based on browser to local system. So getting started, before getting started to work with this particular Selenium, we need to be making sure that all these particular setup has been done. Now we done with all these particular setup, jar files downloaded, and then setup has been completed. Then need to be get start working with programming. The programming concept is same. The programming concept is same. While working the Selenium also, while working Selenium also, for doing this programming, while working the Selenium also, for doing programming, you are taking with the help of Eclipse. What is the use of Eclipse? What is the use of Eclipse? Writing with the programs and executing with programs here. So this particular Eclipse, which it has been used to get right with the programs and then to execute that particular programs here. Okay. Now, once we have Eclipse, under Eclipse, what need to be created? Under Eclipse, what will create? What will create? Project. Okay. Under project, what is it? Package. Okay. Under package, what is it? Taking with class. So one will be taking with Eclipse. Under Eclipse, it will be taking with project. Under project, it will be taking with package. Under package, it will be taking with class. Under the class, it will be writing with code. Under the class, it will be writing with code. So as simple as taking with Eclipse. Under Eclipse, it will be taking with project. Under project, taking with package. Under package, class. Under the class, need to write that code. Either you are working with Java programming, either you are working with Java programming, or you are working with Selenium programming. You will be followed with same concept here. Okay. Now let's follow the same thing. First, you are taking with Eclipse. Eclipse is available. Under Eclipse, what need to be created? Under Eclipse, what need to be created? Project need to be created. Under Eclipse, project need to be created. When you guys are practicing, when you guys are practicing, you can create, one new Java project. You guys can create, one new Java project. I was working with existing project only, but you guys take the practice of creating one new Java project for Selenium. Okay. Next, project created. Under project, what need to be done? Under project, what need to be done? Taking with package. Under project, we need to create package. Creating the package, the same thing will be followed. Creating with the package, the same thing will be followed. That it will be taking with new, which you will be taking with new, and then taking with package, creating with package here, providing package name, providing package name, considering the WebDriver examples based on your comfortable, based on your comfortable, you can provide any of the package name based on your comfortable, based on your comfortable, you can provide any of the package name. So for now, we are providing considering the WebDriver examples. Okay. That it will be creating that particular respective package. First, we got Eclipse. Under Eclipse, we got created project. Under project, we created package. Under package, what need to be created? Under package, what need to be created? Need to create with class. Followed with the same. Followed with the same. That will be taking with new and then taking with class. Okay, done. Now, need to provide class name. What should be the class name? What should be the class name? Need to be get start with capital letter. According to the Java programming standards, according to the Java programming standards, class name need to be get start with capital letter. Okay. Apart from that, class name can be anything. Class name can be anything. We can provide any of the class name here. Now we are developing automation script. Our requirement need to be get develop automation script. On which basis we are developing automation script? On which basis we have to develop? Based on manual test cases. Now, when you refer any manual test cases, when you refer any manual test cases, what is the first column name you will get? Manual test cases. What is the first column name? First column name. When you refer any of manual test cases, what is the first column name you will get? What is it? What is that? Test case ID. The very first column name you are providing test case ID. Now see the understanding. On which basis you are developing automation script? Based on manual test cases. That means you are referring particular test case. For that test case, definitely will have test case ID. What exactly the test case ID is there? What exactly the test case ID is there? That particular test case ID, that particular test case ID, you will provide as a class name here. So that is how you will have an understanding. That is how you will have an understanding taking with for which manual test case developing with that particular automation script. Sorry. For example, you can see that real time here. If I look into some of my project, if I just look into some of my projects, see that how my team members has been provided automation test case name. These are all different applications we automated. See this application. First is project name. After that, test case ID. And then the test case description. What is this column name you got? Script name. Automation script name. Nothing but that class name here. So how exactly we are providing? How exactly we are providing that particular respective class name is taking with this particular project name and then test case ID. Any project, the test case ID is provided. I can say that project name, test case ID, test case description. You may work with any project. You may work with any project followed with similar things here. So we are also following with real-time standards according to that particular real-time standards. That class name is nothing but test case ID. That class name is nothing but test case ID. That it will be taking with test case ID considering the TC001. Providing the test case ID considering the TC001. If required, not like mandatory. If required, you need to be get provide. If required, you need to be get provide that particular respective description. For example, considering the taking with login and logout. Then click on finish. By that, class will be created. So as simple as the very common steps we done. First we are taking with Eclipse, under Eclipse created with project, under project created with package, under package created with class, under the class need to create with that particular code. Okay, that particular code writing with the common step, considering that public static, void, taking with, main, considering the string, asks a need to begin, open the main method. Okay. What is the use of main method? Use of the main method to start program execution. That concept is same. Even though you are working with selenium, that particular concept is same. Now, here we need to begin start performing with test step. That particular test step, your manual test case, considering with automation script on which basis we have to develop automation script on which basis we have to develop based on manual test cases. Make a note of that manual test cases. Make a note of steps. Make a note of the step. Mention the TC001. Mention the test case TC001. Online students also make a note of the test case step. Oh, take with the heading TC001. TC001. Under that, make a note of the steps. Under that, make a note of the step. Take with the first step. What is the first step? Launch browser. First step. Launch browser. First step. Launch browser. Take the next step. Enter URL. Enter URL. Enter URL. Enter URL. Enter URL. Take the next step. Enter username. Enter username. Enter username. Enter username. Take the next step. Enter password. Enter password. Enter password. Enter password. Take the next step. Click on login button. Click on login button. Click on login button. Click on login button. Okay. Take the next step. Take the next step. Click on logout option. Click on logout option. Click on logout option. Click on logout option. Take the last step. Close application. Close application or browser. Close application. Close application or browser. Right. Now, See the test case steps. What is the first step you written? What is the first step? Launching with browser. What is the second step? What is the second step? Enter URL. Okay. What is the next step? Enter username. After that, what is the next step? Enter password. Okay. What is the next step? Click on login. Okay. What is the next step? Click on log out option. Okay. What is the next step? Close application. That is what we got manual step. That manual step need to be automated. Now let's see how we can automate. Now, according to our understanding, while working with Selenium, doing with the same programming, now to automate this particular test cases, we are taking with the help of Selenium. Okay. Now, considering with Selenium, if we want to be get work with Selenium, what we require? To work with Selenium, what we require? What we require, guys? Jar files. Based on jar files, what we are accessing? Packages. Based on packages, class. Based on the class, that particular method. Okay. Jar files, we are already downloaded. We are already downloaded jar files to local system. We are already downloaded jar files to local system. These jar files, we have to add to project. These jar files we need to get added to project. So how to add jar files to project? How to add jar files to project? For that, yesterday you written the steps. What is the first step you written? What is the first step you written? Create new Java project. Okay. After that, perform right click on created project. After that, navigate to build a path and click on configure build a path. After that, click on libraries tab. After that, click on class path option. After that, click on add external jars button. After that, browse all Selenium jar files. After that, click on open button. Last step, click on apply and close. You need to follow the same step to add jar files. You guys need to be very careful while adding jar files. Any jar file is missing, not added jar files properly, you cannot work with Selenium program. So you need to be get more comfortable in adding with jar files here. Okay, let's see that. For that, what is the first step written? Create new project. We are already created project. What is the next step? Perform Right click. Okay. Done with right click. Next step. Navigate to build a path and click on configure build a path. Okay. Done. Next. Click on libraries tab. Okay. Done. After that, click on click on class path option. For me, in my laptop, I'm not getting the option of class path. When you guys are practicing based on your JDK version, you may able to see two options. Once you click on libraries, you will get module path and you will get class path. One is module path, another one class path. You have to click on that class path option. Not available, ignore that step. If you are not able to see class path option, you can ignore. If that option available, then you have to click on that. For now, I'm not having, I'm ignoring that particular step. Next, what is the next step written? Click on add external jars button. Okay. After that, browse all Selenium jar files. See the understanding? You are already downloaded jar files provided in your local system. I'm taking that jar file. You have to select all the jar files here. You have to select all the jar files. Directly, you cannot add folder. First, you can select all the jar files and then you will take open. Now, jar files added. But we need to add all jar files here. Because of that, again, click on add external jar. These jar files added. Having the folder. What is a folder? Lib folder. Open the lib folder. Having the jar files? Yes or no? We got jar file. Just select all the jar files. How many jar files? We are not worried. How many jar files? We are not worried. Whatever jar files are there, you can just add all the jar files here. At last, finally, what is the last step? Apply and close. So by that, all your jar files will be getting added to your project. Now we can see previously, what is option? JRE system library, Java related jar files. By default, it will be there. Now we added our own jar files provided under reference library. If you refer it, you will have all the jar files what you got added here. So this is what you will be taking with this particular reference libraries. I mean, whatever the jar files you got added, it will be displayed under reference library. So without adding the jar file, if you are writing Selenium program, there is no use of that. Working with Selenium mandatory of jar files. Jar files not added properly, missing any of the jar file, your program will give an error. Now, see the steps we done. First, created with project. Right click on project. Navigate to build path and click on configure build path. Click on libraries tab. In case of class option, click on that. Otherwise, ignore. Then taking with add external jar. You have to browse all jar file considering that jar files outside of lib folder and then jar files inside of lib folder. Jar files outside of lib folder and jar files inside of lib folder. Considering that all jar files need to be get added. All jar files need to be get added and then click on open. Finally, apply and close. So by this, we done with the whole Selenium setup and ready to write with program of Selenium. So getting started, before getting started working with Selenium, before getting started working with Selenium, make sure that you're done with all the setup. Now you can start writing with program of Selenium. To work with Selenium programming, what do we require? To work with Selenium, what do we require? What do we require? Jar files. Jar files we are already added. Now, based on jar files, what we can access? What we can access? Based on jar files, what we can access? Packages. We can access a number of packages. We can access a number of packages. In that, we can access a number of packages. We can access a number of packages. Now we are taking with importing the required packages according to your program requirement. According to your program requirement, you have to import the required packages. You have to import the required packages. Let's see that. For that, we are taking with import. See the packages what we are importing. All these are predefined. Everything predefined only. Jar files. Did we create it? Did we created any of our jar file? No. Selenium guys provided. You downloaded, added to project. From the jar file, you are importing packages. Considering that import org dot open QA dot Selenium dot web driver. It will not give an option. Remove up to dot. Again give the dot, select with the option is WebDriver. This is one package. To work with Selenium, to work with Selenium, you have to import this package, one package similar to this, one more package, import org dot open QA dot Selenium dot I'm taking with Firefox dot taking with Firefox driver. Just we are importing the required packages according to the program requirement, you need to begin import the required packages. Now, the one we imported, WebDriver package, the one we imported, Firefox driver package, and then one more, import org dot open QA dot Selenium dot taking with by. I mean, when you are working with Selenium, when you are working with the Selenium, when you are working with the Selenium, you need to begin import. You need to begin import these three packages. Any program, you may work with any program in Selenium. ఏ program అయినా work చేయండి. Any program in Selenium, you can consider by default, you have to import these three packages. You may work with any program in Selenium. By default, you need to import these three packages. See that first you got added jar files. Based on jar files, what you can access? Based on jar files, what you can access? Packages. That packages, a number of packages are there. We are not worried all the packages. We are not worried about all the packages. We have to take care about the required packages. In that one, you are taking with import. We are taking with import, and then org dot open QA dot Selenium dot taking with WebDriver. This is one package we are importing. After that, import org dot open QA dot Selenium dot Firefox dot taking with Firefox driver. Okay. Next, import org dot open QA dot Selenium dot by any program of Selenium. Any program. మరి ఏ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అయినా వర్క్ చేయండి. ఎనీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ you need to import these three packages. Why these three packages? Why these three packages? First package, WebDriver. First package, WebDriver. Consider to access to access WebDriver classes and methods. Why we are importing this WebDriver package? Why we are importing this WebDriver package? Why we are importing the WebDriver package? WebDriver package ఎందుకు ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసాం? To access WebDriver related classes and the WebDriver related methods. Okay. Next, we got Firefox driver. We imported Firefox driver. This package we imported to access Firefox browser. To access Firefox browser, we imported Firefox driver. No sir, I required Chrome browser. Then what you will write? Chrome driver. Whatever browser you required, you need to import that package. In case of Chrome, Chrome driver. Okay. Next, we imported by package. Why we imported by package? Considering that to access object identification methods. To access object identification methods. That means object identification. How many techniques? Object identification. How many techniques? 8 techniques. 8 types to access that particular 8 types to access that particular 8 types, taking with that by statement. So while working Selenium, any program, you have to import these 3 packages. First package. What is the first package? WebDriver. What is the use of this package? To access WebDriver classes and methods. Next, we are taking Firefox driver. What is the use of that? To access Firefox browser. Okay. Next, we got by package. What is the use of by package? To access object identification methods. Okay, done. Next, need to come to test step. we got jar files. Based on jar files, what we can access? Packages. We imported. Based on packages, what we can access? Class. Based on the class, method. How we can access the method? How we can access the method? How we can access the method? By creating an object. We have to create object. Okay. Let's see that. Creating with object. But before creating an object, we need to begin perform that action. Perform an action, taking the method. Now, according to our test case step, according to our test case step, what is the first step written? According to our test case step, what is the first step written? What is the first step? Launching with browser. According to our test case step, according to our test case step, the very first step mentioning that launching with browser. Okay. Now, see the understanding. Need to begin. Launch browser. Okay. See the concept. Manual testing. Meaning of manual testing. Testing done by human interactions. Meaning of automation testing. Testing done by tool. What is the tool we are working? Selenium. We are working the tool Selenium. That means who has to launch browser? Guys? Is it Chiranjeevi is launching the browser? No. Who has to launch browser? Balakrishna will launch. No. Who has to launch browser? Selenium has to launch browser. Okay. Now, browser available in local system. See the understanding. Very interesting. See the understanding. Most important. Now, browser available in local system. In local system, browser is available. In local system, browser is available. Done. Now, meaning of automation testing. Testing done by tool. What is the tool we are working? Selenium. Now, who has to launch browser? Selenium has to be launching the browser available in local system. In the local system, browser available. Local system, browser available. That browser need to launch by Selenium. Okay. Now, the problem with the Selenium. Selenium directly cannot communicate with browser. Selenium directly cannot communicate with browser. Selenium directly cannot communicate with browser. The problem with the Selenium is there, browser available. The Selenium directly cannot communicate with browser. because of that, because of that, because of that, taking help of, taking help of, taking the help of, taking the help of driver. That driver depends on browser. The driver depends on browser. What is a browser? You are working. According to that, you have to take driver. By that, by that, the selenium, selenium communicate with driver. Driver communicate with browser. As simple as selenium directly cannot communicate with browser. Because of that, taking the help of driver, that driver depends on browser. Now that by that selenium communicate with driver, driver will communicate with browser. Simple understanding, guys. Assume that you are maintaining BMW, but you doesn't know the driving here. You have BMW, but problem is you doesn't know the driving. What you will do? What you will do? You will recruit the driver, right? As simple. You have BMW, but doesn't know the driving, then you will recruit driver. By that, you will give instruction to the driver. The driver will be driving the vehicle according to your requirement. Here also, follow the same. Selenium available, browser available, but selenium communicating to driver, driver communicating to browser. Now the whole concept is first selenium available. Selenium has to communicate with, selenium has to communicate with driver. Driver has to communicate with browser. That is the concept. That is concept. But that concept we have to convert into programming, because is that we can sit in front of system and saying that selenium communicate with driver, selenium communicate with driver. Is that possible? No. That activity need to done through programming. So how we can do through programming? Let's see that. Let's see that. Now see our step. We are working selenium. Selenium has to communicate with driver. Driver has to communicate with browser. That statement need to write it. Where browser is available? Where browser is available? Local system. We are writing system. System dot. System dot. We are using set property. System dot set property. Okay. Now see the understanding. Very simple understanding. Automation testing. Meaning of automation testing? Testing done by tool. What is the tool we are working? What is the tool we are working? Selenium. That selenium is nothing but WebDriver. For WebDriver, we have to inform. What we have to inform? WebDriver came inform Shali. What we have to inform, guys? We have to inform to communicate with browser, but browser directly cannot communicate because of the driver. For WebDriver, we have to inform. For WebDriver, we have to inform saying that WebDriver, communicate with driver, communicate with driver. That driver depends on browser. For now, I'm taking Firefox. Because of that, I'm taking with gecko.driver. So I'm taking with gecko.driver. driver. We are informing WebDriver. WebDriver ki inform చేస్తున్నాం. What we are informing to WebDriver? Communicate with driver. Which driver? Gecko driver. We are saying that WebDriver refer Gecko driver. Where driver available? No, driver ఎక్కడున్నాడు? సికింద్రాబాద్ or Hyderabad? No, Miyapura. Where driver available? Driver available in local system. In our local system. In our local system. Driver available. That is the reason I told that you have to download driver.exe file, extract it, maintain in your local system. See, my driver. Who is a driver? Gecko driver. Available or not? Okay, where Gecko driver available? Where Gecko driver available? Local system. Because of that, take the path of that. Take the path of that. My system, my path. When you guys are practicing your system, your path, in your system, where driver is available, in your system, where driver is available, you have to provide that path you have to provide. That path you have to provide, including file name, considering that gecko driver.exe. Okay, don't be confused here. Very simple, very simple. We are working automation testing. Meaning of automation testing? Testing done by tool. What is the tool we are working? Selenium. That Selenium is nothing but WebDriver. So for WebDriver, we are informing. What we are informing? WebDriver, communicate with Gecko driver. That Gecko driver available in local system, provided path of that particular driver. By that, this WebDriver will understand, need to refer Gecko driver available in this particular path. Okay, done. Now what driver has to do? Need to communicate with browser. Okay, to communicate with browser, that activity need to be done. We need to be get access for method. How we can access the method? By creating object. How we can create an object? Taking with class name, after that object name, after that equal to, after that new class name. Okay, giving an error. Why it is giving an error? Class name is TC001. Okay, see our understanding. We are working with predefined. We are not writing our own methods. Selenium already written methods. That methods available in class. That class available in package. That package available in that package available in guys jar files. So that jar files we are already downloaded, added to project. So because of that, we are creating object for WebDriver. But see that, what is the symbol? I. Meaning of I? Interface. For interface, can we create object? No. Creation of object for interface, not possible. Because of that, taking with the help of class, that class we are taking with Firefox driver. Okay, done. Now, let me try to execute the program up to this particular step. Okay, executing, same concept. What you will do? Right click and then run as, what is the option? What is the option? Java application. Okay, let me run the program. What is today? Thursday. Okay, very perfect. What is the time now? Okay, any Durmuhurtam is there? No, right? Okay. First time, for the first time, we are executing not Java, Selenium program. Okay, very perfect. Let me run it. Let me run it. Run as Java application. Okay, we'll see that. What is output? Abba? Very perfect. What we got? Red color we got. Blood color we got. Any output he got? What is output he got? What is output he got? What is output? Your manual test case first step, your favorite step. What is that? Launch browser. Browser launch? Launched or not? Who launched the browser? Selenium launch browser. Meaning of automation testing. Testing done by tool. If we take that particular tool, we are working Selenium. Now we can see I'm running the program. Previously, we are launching the browser. Now, tool is launching the browser. Now we can see here, tool has been launching the browser. So that is what your automation. Browser launch, URL enter. Is that URL entered? No. Why it is not entered? Why it is not entered? We have not informed. We have to inform. For Selenium, for WebDriver, you mentioned only launch browser, launching the browser. You have not mentioned enter URL. It is not entering the URL. So how to enter URL? So that will understand it. That will understand it. In a meanwhile, for now, just try to take the practice of up to this step. Try to take the practice of up to this step. Tomorrow, you will get the clear picture. Tomorrow, you will get the clear picture. But for now, taking a practice of up to this step. Okay? So take care about up to this step. Tomorrow, we'll take into more detail here. Okay? So please take care about all the practice. Please take care about all that particular setup here. Okay? Carry on. Thank you.